The expected hiring of Matt Green at Marble Falls means all 11 public school head coaching jobs around Central Texas are now filled. A lot going on. We had 6 guys actually that were coaching in the area previously get one of the head jobs here in the Central Texas area. And guys, let's jump into it. Danny, we'll start with you. Which school do you think made the best hire of all of them?
I know what direction Rick's going to go to, and I think it's a really good choice over at Westlake. And I like that hire at Dripping Springs and Marble Falls too. But I'm actually going to go with McCallum. McCallum had a really good season last year. Did something Austin ISD schools don't do very often, which was win a playoff game. They did it with a very, very small roster, really small for a 4A school. And so when their coach left, I mean, the seniors that were coming back next year, this is going to be their 3rd coach in 4 years. And with a small roster, you worry about some kids leaving and some kids getting frustrated with all the turnover and just not wanting to play football anymore. But they promoted Charles Taylor. He's been there the last 2 years. He's their offensive coordinator for an offense that averaged 35 points per game. So he'll have some nice pieces coming back with Sabian Cannon, the quarterback, Clement Jones running back, a couple all-district offensive linemen. And it's not the splashiest name, but it was really what that program needed.
All right, Rick, who do you think made the best hire?
I think my pick has been answered, but it's going to be Todd Dodge, obviously. Yeah. He was a no-brainer pick for Westlake. He'd been rumored for that job in the past, but just hadn't been in position to do anything about it. You got to like his resume: 4 state championships in a 5-year span at South Lake Carroll. Fantastic quarterback when he was at the University of Texas. He's going to bring that philosophy with him. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a big quarterback position battle going up for there. But give him time, because it's not going to happen overnight. But I think he's the best hire in this area.
The downside of coaching hires is a lot of times coming in, there's a reason that job was open in the first place, and that's because the guy before you really wasn't getting the job done. So now moving on, which of these non-playoff teams from last year do you think has the best chance of making the playoffs with their new head coach, Rick?
The best chance, I think, is going to be Florence with Joey McQueen, and I know what Danny thinks. He's the historian here. He said that they haven't been to the playoffs maybe once in 50 years, if I'm not mistaken. But Joey McQueen turns around football programs. You heard that here first. Actually, not really. But he turned around Lampasas. Lampasas had gone 0-20 the previous 2 years that before he was there. They were 19-14 in the 3 years that he was there. His pedigree is good. It's just time. Florence, it's about time. Get the fireworks out. It's going to happen.
Danny, who do you think's primed for a playoff run next year?
I'm going to sound like the biggest McCallum homer in the world here, but we just talked about the new coach at McCallum. The old coach at McCallum, Jason Cecil, went to Connolly. Connolly went 2-8 last season, but that was actually only their 2nd time they've ever missed the playoffs at the 4A level, which will now be the 5A level. The district they're going into, 17-5A, it's not, if you could answer like a Dripping Springs or a Marble Falls, but those teams are in really tough districts. 17-5A is not the toughest district in the world, so I think Connolly has a good chance to get back on the winning track.
Now, which coach has the most work to do at their next stop?
I think it has to be McNeil. McNeil hasn't been to the playoffs in forever. I think it's 2004 was the last time there. They haven't had more than 2 wins in the season in 2008. Their sub-varsity programs were not good last year. Obviously, their varsity program wasn't very good. The fan support, I went to a game last year, and I think there are more people in the press box than there was on the McNeil side. So Howard McMahon, the new coach over there, coming from Connolly, won 40 games at Connolly. He's going to have some work to do there, but we'll see what he can do in a couple of years. But McNeil fans are going to have to be patient.
Rick?
I'm going to go with Anderson, and Jeff Rhodes is the new coach there. It's not because he's not a good coach, because he is a good coach. He's been to the state championship game 4 times, 3 at Katy, 1 at Westlake. But he's in a really tough district with Westlake and Lake Travis, obviously. The big dogs. You got Bowie, you got Hayes coming in. It's going to be a very tough district. The culture at Anderson High School has got to change for anything positive to happen. They're good in other sports, and football is just one of those things that's lagged behind because of the numbers. He has to go out to the middle school, I think Murkison is the name of the school, and draw those kids in, because if he can draw them in, he can coach them up.
All right, that's going to do it for us here right now. Make sure you keep coming back to statesman.com for all your Central Texas high school sports coverage. We'll see you.